This is William Attar Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Auto.
From Joe Cummings Field on the campus of Fairport High School, we welcome you to the beginning of the Section 5 season. This is William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. As tonight, the Red Raiders of Fairport host the Royal Comets of Rush-Henrietta. Good evening, everyone. Gene Battaglia with you. So excited as we're getting going, along with Mike Danger and Kevin Roche. Mike Danger, opening night's always special, but this year it means so much.
When you talk about all of the adversity that these kids have gone through the pandemic, a spring season that was shortened last year, and now to get back on track and to be here on a Friday night, Gino, you smelt it in the air when you woke up this morning. It's perfect.
Take a look at tonight's keys to the game as we are looking at a good balance on offense. The fundamentals, the tackling certainly is going to be important here for Rush-Henrietta, and for Fairport, looking at their main running back.
Yeah, Joe Gigi is the guy that they're going to want to ground and pound on offense. And on defense, they're going to try and limit those big plays, Gino. Jaden Scott of Rush-Henrietta took his first play from scrimmage against Fairport in the spring to the house for a 70-yard score. It ended up being the difference in that game.
The keys of the game brought to you by Matthews Automotive as we take a look at our players to watch here tonight. And for the Royal Comets, Jaden Scott, not just a great football player, but he's also a heck of a wrestler.
Humble. He's a heck of a wrestler, top 30 nationwide, state champion level wrestler. And in the weight room when he's got that free time, Jaden Scott's going to get a lot of touches tonight for the Royal Comets.
And for Fairport, they're going to be looking at Joe Gigi. Pretty good lacrosse player, too, at the face-off.
Absolutely. Joe Gigi is going to get a lot of touches tonight for the Fairport Red Raiders. He's going to be, let's face it, a lot of that offense is going to go through Joseph Gigi tonight.
We'll have the coin toss coming up next as we are with you. It's William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive here on CW Rochester. Here's tonight's coin toss presented by Apollo Concrete Coating. Open your garage to a new floor. And our Apollo Concrete Coating coin toss won by RH, and that's the way to start right off the bat. If you're Fairport, get a touchback, and it'll be RH going to work here on offense. The William Attar starting lineups for RH on offense. Evan Brock is the quarterback. Number 3 also plays baseball. Your starting offensive line going from left to right. Your tackle, Jacob Sturgis, Jason Dang, Sean Buck is your center, Sam Bowden. And the right guard is one of the team captains, Ryan Cornish, the right tackle. We'll get to the skill players here in just a second. There it is, presented by William Attar. 1st and 10 at the own 20. Jaden Scott, your running back, Bakari Rogers, Max Kander, and Old Jay Singletary on the outside as the handoff will go off right guard. And that's a nice gain of 6. Way to start things off for the RH offense.
You see him go off right guard, and you're going to see it a lot tonight. Sam Bowden, you mentioned, is one of the anchors on that offensive line for Rush-Henrietta and also on the defensive line as well. His head coach, Jason Collins, compared him to the NFL's Alejandro Villanueva, Gino, as they go tempo here to start the game.
I compare him to Tim Green as Sam Bowden, looking at MIT, RPI, certainly has a great career ahead of him, as now here will be the handoff going up the middle. This is going to bring up 3rd and short. Your starters defensively for the Fairport Red Raiders, John Myers, Nicholas Provenzano, Olin Collins, Marcus Sobel on the defensive line. Matthew Budarazzi, Joe Gigi, your linebackers. Aiden Arena, Robert Cameron are the corners. William Frank, Brandon Levine back, and Jackson Monty is the safety. 3rd down and 2 as Brock will be out of the shotgun. They're going 4 wide once again. Fairport moving, and that is going to give a 1st down, we think, to RH. I know you want to make a play, Mike Danger.
Yeah, I think they've got some pent-up energy, given that this is the first game they've played in the fall in a while here in Fairport, right? I mean, after all these kids have been through, they're probably just excited to be out there and get things going, Gino. 1st down now for the Royal Comets.
Yeah, that played good for a Lakeside Roofing and Contracting 1st down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, home of Kangaroo. We hop to it as the handoff. No, it's a keeper. Good deception there as Gigi lowers his shoulder and goes up to the 41 for a gain of 8.
Boy, Brock is just a force on this play, and absolutely taking it around the edge with some deception there.
Gain of 7. It's second.
Evan Brock. Oh.
And again, no huddle for the Royal Comets as they continue with tempo and that spread offense that Jason Collins loves to run.
And looking down at his wristband will be Brock on 2nd down and 2, 4 wide receivers. Running back is Jaden Scott. This is the opening drive if you're just tuning in. Scott will get his 3rd carry of the night, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. Breaking through, that's John Myers, number 50.
Tackled behind the line of scrimmage by number 58, Nick Provenzano.
Nick Provenzano, 58, also in there.
Great penetration by Provenzano right up the gut there and blowing up this play in the backfield, limiting Jaden Scott and setting up a 3rd and long now for the Royal Comets.
We'll call it 3rd down and 6. Again, looking at the wristband will be Evan Brock. Singletary going into motion, and he's going to get the sweep on the end of the round. Singletary trying to sidestep a man and then making the good tackle. That is a strong tackle made by number 5, Aiden Arena, the corner, holding his ground. That's going to force a punt.
Well, I got to see, you had one mental error there by the Red Raiders with the false start penalty, but you were able to hold the Royal Comets here, force the 4th down and the punt. And we'll get a chance to see the Red Raiders offense go to work next, Gino.
So Patrick Nobles, who was wearing a different number, he's going to be wearing number 3 tonight. He's back there along with Jackson Monty. And it'll be Singletary to punt it away for the Royal Comets. So Fairport's defense does its job. Snap a little bit high, and the kick high, end over end. And that will die out in the 19. So at the very least, RH flips the field position. We will go downstairs. And the 3rd member of our broadcast team tonight, Kevin Roche. We say good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, guys. Hey, good evening, guys. Fairport head coach Mike Wayne took over his alma mater late December of 2020. So as you can imagine, he didn't have a lot of time to prepare for that spring season earlier this year. And the results obviously weren't what Fairport had hoped for, going 1-5. But he told us this week that his team has bought into his system, got in the weight room, and they're hoping that the results will translate on the field this fall.
Thank you, Kevin. As we see the Fairport offense here for the first time tonight, we see the sophomore. It's going to be Gavin Illingsworth, number 8. His first start here in high school at the varsity level. As he'll hand off to GG, he has room, and he could go 35, 40, 45, 50. It's a foot race, and Joe GG will take this 81 yards. Fairport leads 6-0.
Result of the play is a Fairport touchdown.
Gino, great blocking up front there by the Fairport Red Raiders line, and a great job cutting it to the outside, bouncing it outside by Joe Gigi, taking to the house 81 yards for the touch.
That's another American Custom Exteriors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. Joe Gigi, and we talked about it in the keys to the game for RH tonight, the fundamentals, and nobody has the backside here. This is Gigi. That was just sealed right off.
Yeah. And you saw some Royal Comet defenders with their backs turned to the play. Gigi with an easy touchdown right around the outside after bouncing it outside.
To attempt the extra point.
Puccia, the place kicker. Snap is down, the kick is up, and that is through the uprights.
Extra point is good.
81 yards from Joe Gigi, and Fairport is up 7-0 here. It's Friday Night Rivals. William Mukhtar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. Here's the Illuminating Expressions scoring summary. Illuminating Expressions, where light comes to life, and Pretty simple drive. One handoff, 81 yards, and RH has to figure out a way how to slow down Joe Gigi.
Yeah, and I hope, I bet Fairport wishes that they could have every drive end with that result. One play, 81 yards, and an early 7-0 lead over the Royal Comets.
So for RH, they did some nice things, but on a 3rd and short, not able to convert. So see what the second drive will bring. Tyler Pucci, the senior, I know. One of the things last year, Danger, I can't even say last year, it was last season, it was in 2021, but we had a lot of soccer players because they were available in the spring playing. And in Section 5, we had some really good kicking, and Tyler Pucci is certainly one of the better kickers you will see here in Section 5, as proved by putting it through the back of the end zone on the opening kickoff. And here's a nice end over end, and this is going to be returned at the 4. So remember, across the 20 and up to the 23. And so for our RH fans tonight that are watching, we're going to be very careful. The white-on-white numbers a little difficult to see from up here. So if it takes us a second or two to identify the player, we ask for your forgiveness in advance. In fact,
on the return.
We didn't even know, Mike, that we were going to be having RH at Fairport. This time last week, we thought it was going to be Pittsford. Unfortunately, some changes with the schedule last second. Edison had to drop out in Class AA.
Yeah, these teams will actually face off again later on this season with Fairport, the visiting team, at Rush-Henrietta, Week 6.
Evan Brock at quarterback takes the snap, and he will hand off. It'll be Scott once again, and Scott gets a healthy gain. We'll call it a gain of 5 to bring up 2nd and 5.
Jolene Scott with a gain of 5. Tackle made by number 50, John Myers. 2nd down.
Myers with the tackle. Max Kander will be the receiver to the near boundary. Looking down at his wristband. Aiden Arena will be the defender on Kander. It'll be another handoff, and Scott getting around that left corner. He's got the first down. Scoots out of bounds. And for the second time tonight, RH with the first down.
Pushed out of bounds.
Jaden Scott doing a nice job finding the seam on that play through the offensive line and getting to the outside for that first down for the Royal Comets.
Unofficially, we have Scott at 5 carries, 16 yards so far. First down for the Royal Comets, who trail 7-0. Brock takes the snap, rolling to his right. Has some options downfield, and is just going to keep it. Lowers his shoulder, and he gets belted. And some talk at the end. That's Scott Thompson, the linebacker, delivering the hit.
Made by number 82, Scott Thompson.
A little payback from the first drive on that one, Gino, where Brock went around the outside, and the Red Raider defender got a little bit more, got the worst of that end. On this instance,
that's a heck of a block by Jaden Scott as well.
Yeah.
No gain on the play to bring up 2nd down and 10. And so everybody looking back. The offensive coordinator for RH is former St. John Fisher quarterback Ryan Kramer. 3 wide receivers on 2nd down and 10 and out of time, which means RH will take their timeout. The first here used in the first half. 7:56 remaining here in the first. Thanks to a Joe Gigi 81-yard touchdown run. 7-0 is our score, Fairport. This is William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. Glad you're with us here tonight on CW Rochester.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here at Fairport between the Red Raiders and Royal Comets of Rush-Henrietta. Hey, guys, it's opening night, and that comes nerves. Nerves for everyone, including RH head coach Jason Collins. He told us before the game that he couldn't sleep last night, up at 2 a.m. Butterflies, 17 and a half hours before kickoff. Guys?
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, everybody's got butterflies, and it's good to hear the coach does too. Jason Collins, who As a quarterback for Greece Olympia back in the late 90s.
Well, when we had the chance to talk to Coach Collins earlier this week, Gino, he preaches competitive excellence. Everyone on this team prepared to play. They're focused. They're hardworking. And you know what you're going to get offensively here? I mean, it's been no huddle from the very get-go, and they've been running that spread offense so far this evening without fail.
The Fairport defense, it's 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and you could see number 7, Jackson Monty, creeping up, and now this will be Fairport on 3rd and 5, taking the timeout. Boy, is this opening week? This is very, very tightly coordinated.
Early stages of a fight, Gino. We're both competitors kind of feeling themselves out, circling the ring, trying to get the right looks on offense and defense.
Well, we are so glad you're with us here tonight on CW Rochester as Friday night rivals. We're going to have 8 weeks of great action here. Next week, we're heading to Victor as our scheduled game will have Victor and Hilton. So in Class AA as RH and Fairport. And, well, everybody's looking at McQuaid, the two-time defending champs, first time they've ever won back-to-back. That's the team that is kind of setting the mark right now. We'll have a McQuaid Aquinas game for you later in the season.
And next week, yeah, we'll have a rematch of the Section 5 semifinal that we had in the spring between Victor and Hilton, where Victor got the better of Hilton. We'll see if Hilton can step up on the road next Friday night.
3rd down and 5 here for Coach Collins as he goes over, talks to his team as they break the huddle. That was a Fairport timeout, so both teams with 2 timeouts remaining in this first half.
It's 3rd down.
As the Viking horn plays here. The snap. Brock rolling to his left. Trying to keep it. Does he have enough room for the first down? Lowers the shoulder and gets that first down. And that RH sideline is fired up. Danger, I didn't think he was going to have enough room, but he did that on his own.
Well, we heard from Coach Collins earlier this week, and we asked him about Evan Brock, and he said, we asked, Coach, dual threat quarterback? He said, oh, yeah, dual threat quarterback, and he's not afraid to turn it upfield and lower his shoulder as he does on this play, Gene. Getting that corner, using some speed, and then to finish the run, lowering the shoulder and getting that first down.
Budarazi with a chance in the backfield as first time tonight RH going into Fairport territory. That play was good for another Kangaroo first down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting. Home of Kangaroo, we hop to it. Man going to motion is Rogers, and Brock will keep it rolling to his right, throws on the run, and well, that wasn't probably the design play as there was 2 receivers right in the same area. Singletary and Kander both diving for it.
2nd down.
2nd and 10.
We have a feeling if that Royal Comets offense stays on the field this long throughout the course of the game, that Red Raider defense could get winded by the time we get to the 4th quarter.
It also keeps Gigi on the sideline. Well, at least from the running back, you'll see Gigi at the linebacker position. 2nd down and 10 at the Fairport 49. Brock, screen pass, near side. And getting around the corner, that's going to be good for a first down and more. This is going to go. Singletary, 49 yards, touchdown. Touchdown, Rush-Henrietta, O.J. Singletary.
Brock's pass to number 5, O.J. Singletary. Result of the play is a Rush-Henrietta touchdown.
What do they say, Gino? You can't teach speed. I mean, it looked like Fairport had him dead to rights, and he just got around that corner, flashed a little bit of speed, and it was to the house.
Another American Custom Exteriors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. And you don't need to throw the ball down 30, 40 yards downfield. Just get it in the hands of your playmakers. And we learned right there, Singletary has breathtaking speed.
Evan Brock on to attempt the extra point.
Yeah, O.J. Singletary around the corner. And you had plenty of Fairport defenders around him.
Oh, and the kick is blocked.
By number 5.
As the cliche in broadcasting, foul that one.
Fairport 7, Rush-Henrietta 6.
I believe it was Monty who got the block. 7-6 is our score. We're not even at the halfway point here of this first quarter. special teams.
Yeah, it looked like Aiden Arena getting around the corner there and getting to the kicker, blocking that extra point.
Well, we've been having a lot of action here. We've had only one play for Fairport on offense so far. So we'll get to the starting lineups here for Fairport offensively as well as RH defensively. And again, your scoring summary presented by Illuminating Expressions, where light comes to life. And that was the play that set it. I think that set the tone right there. The fact that that drive continued because of the Brock run, a gain of 6 when he needed 5.
Yeah, you saw that sideline erupt when he lowered his shoulder for that first down, and they follow it up with the long pass.
As it'll be Jackson Monty with the fair catch, so great field position at their own 33. Let's set up the offensive line here for Fairport. As we didn't get a chance to do that last drive. Left to right, your left tackle is Ellis Bruce, John Myers, your left guard, Henry Krugel is your center, Marcus Sobel, your right guard, Nicholas Provenzano is your right tackle, Cameron Loth, Robert Cameron, your wide receivers, Fabian Hernandez, tight end, and then they'll use Matthew Budarazzi as a fullback, also as a tight end. For RH, we'll get to their defense after this 1st and 10 play. They will run a 4-4. You see the 4 down linemen, the 4 linebackers. Illingsworth will hand off to Gigi, and this time Gigi trying to go left side. And he'll get 1 on the play. Defense for the RH Royal Comets. Your ends, Garrett Day and Sean Buick. Corey Jones and Sam Bowden are your tackles. Hudson Widbeck and Caden Johnson, your outside linebackers. On the inside, Brandon Scott and Jason Dang. Max Kander and Jordan Kujowski are your corners, and Tyler Buraducci is your safety. 2nd down and 9. And the handoff a little shaky as still breaking through is Gigi, and Gigi able to lean forward, and that's going to set up 3rd and 1 after the gain of 8.
55, Garrett Day.
Gigi already up to 90 yards rushing on the night.
3rd down.
We'll make it 3rd down and 1. Cameron will be the receiver to the top of your screen as we take a look at the back end zone angle. The handoff once again going to Gigi, and Gigi is not going to get anything. So now the question, Fairport with an excellent kicker. 4th down in a 7-6 game, and so far, the offense is staying out there. And the keeper by Illingsworth, and the official on the near side, I think, is going to give it to him.
Carry by Gavin Illingworth.
Mike, I'm very bad at spotting from up here, so your guess probably better than mine.
It didn't look like they got a ton of push on that, Gino, and they've had a lot more success running on the seams, running to the outside left and right. This is going to probably come down to a measurement. Oh, there they go. 1st down, Red Raiders.
Play good for another Kangaroo 1st down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, home of Kangaroo. We hop to it. Now waiting for the chain gang to get moving here. They still have it 4th down, and got to move those markers here. There we go.
Result of the play is a Red Raider 1st down.
Hey, Gene, how great is this atmosphere on Friday night? In the fall.
In the fall.
We're back, under the lights.
Glad you mentioned the fall. Story about RH here is the handoff going to Gigi. He's not going to get a carry. Of course, it was great that everybody in the spring pulled together, got a season last year for those seniors, and it was a special season. For RH, they had a challenge because you don't realize that if you start practicing in late February, it's still dark out, and they don't have lights there. So literally, Jason Collins telling us that his team had to get on a bus, and the folks at Pittsford were nice enough to lend their field. So just another layer that you know, not as if we didn't have enough obstacles last year for everybody. RH had to battle through that. But now football back where it's supposed to be here. The opener on Labor Day weekend is the handoff, and this will bring up 3rd and long. Not finding much here on the inside, as Monty was the carrier at that time.
Monty on the carry, tackle made by Brandon.
Yeah, keep an eye on some of the big guys on the edge for the Fairport Red Raiders. Zealous Bruce on the left side. Yeah, he runs 6'2", 285. And let's not forget about Provenzano there on the right side. Provenzano also a big boy for the Fairport Red Raiders at 6'2", 235.
Budarazzi lining up as an H-back as Illingsworth rolling to his right. Is he going to try to keep it? He will, and he's going to be well short, as that will be up to about the 48. And you would think this would be a punting situation, and indeed, Fairport will send out their special teams unit.
Looks like he had the option to throw. Didn't like what he saw downfield, Gene.
4th down.
Decided to tuck it and run, and Rush-Henrietta waiting to bring it down.
So Pucci will be out there.
Tyler Pucci to punt.
Fairport needed an extra person racing out of the field. Be Cameron Loft.
Max Candor.
It's a bad snap, but Pucci's able to get it. Gets off a kick that goes and will roll inside the 20. And inside the 20 will be RH starting off their next possession. Fairport leading RH 7-6. We are still in the first here. It's Friday Night Rivals here on CW Rochester. RH starting off here is the throw near side. Man wide open, and it's dropped. Candor is going to want that one back.
First time we've called Max Candor's name, loved by his coaches, loved by his teammates. Gene, he stepped up as a junior last season. He's got sound fundamentals and coachable as well. And Coach Collins comped him to Wes Welker there in the slot, a 3-sport athlete for the Royal Comets, football, basketball, and lacrosse. Not able to make that catch, though.
3 wide receivers here on 2nd down and 10. Brock handing it off, and it'll be Jaden Scott trying to get around the corner. Scott able to shed 1 tackler, but only able to get it up to the 19 for a gain of 3 to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Short gain.
Scott so far 7 carries, 24 yards, so 7 carries in the first quarter alone.
It's 3rd down.
Well, it looked like it was Rogers on the end.
I'm sorry, it was Makari Rogers, I beg your pardon, on the end of it. Brock takes the snap. Under pressure, rolling to his right, makes one man miss. Still picks up a good block here, and in the end, spinning forward, and is not going to be able to get the first down. Only up to the 21.
Boy, Sam Bodden on that one in the backfield, laying out a Fairport Red Raider to kind of extend that play for Brock and preventing a bigger loss on the play. Certainly not the desired outcome on that play, but a great block there in the backfield.
Nobles and Monty deep back for the Red Raiders. As will be Santiago, who has the RH touchdown tonight, to punt this away. Santiago gets off a nice high punt and that's a very dangerous play, as Justin Leonard was right in the vicinity. You call fire on one of those plays, back off there, and all's well that ends well for Fairport as they will start off this next drive. Good field position at their own 41.
At the 41.
All right, let's see if Fairport goes back to what got them that long touchdown from Joe Gigi. Run either to the right or to the left off of some of their bigger bodies there on the edge.
Let's see if Gavin Illingworth, I beg your pardon, no S in there, Illingworth will start to unleash it through the air here. Head coach Mike Wayne of Fairport graduated from here, taking over the job here in 2020, having served on the Brighton coaching staff previously for Steve Leon. 1st and 10 as the handoff will go to Gigi as he makes one man miss, but in the end, not much there.
Gigi, the ball carrier for a gain
as everybody
of
reading
1,
their keys here for the RH
down.
defense, it's a gain of 1.
A little more on Gavin Illingworth, the quarterback, starting as a sophomore. His first start here for the Fairport Red Raiders at a program with lots of pride, of course. 3 New York State championships and 11 Section 5 titles. Got to imagine he's got some butterflies as the clock is winding down here on the first quarter.
Gosh, yes, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. An entertaining first quarter. This has been a great start here tonight. We're so glad you're with us here on William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. Fairport leading RH 7-6 here on CW Rochester. Joseph Gigi with an 81-yard touchdown run here as the 3rd member of our broadcast team. We will send it downstairs to Kevin Roche.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Joe Gigi, you mentioned it, giving them the 81-yard touchdown, that 7-0 early lead. RH now pulling back within 1, but Gigi had a great spring for Fairport. His coach loves him. He says he's a next-level type player, and he showed that in the spring. 830 yards, 9 touchdowns, already off to a good start here in the fall. Guys?
Thank you, Kevin, as that last run by Gigi. Boy, he might have 100 yards here before the end of the first half. We have him unofficially now at 5 carries, 97 yards. We're going to measure here, and that's the delay here as the ball has gone into RH territory. Chain gang coming across the field. Here was that last play as Kevin was talking. Just running the direct snap.
And a missed tackle there on that play by Kujawaski, and that's one of the keys to the game. Obviously, if you're Rush-Henrietta, you want to try and stick to those fundamentals, and tackling was one of those things that Coach Collins mentioned to us, Gene, something that he wanted to see out of his defense tonight. Sound tackling, finishing their tackles.
Well, it looks like they're going to mark it just shy, but this opens up the playbook, as they like to say.
Short of the line to gain, it's 2nd down. Pardon me, it's 3rd down.
So 3rd and inches. It's Illingworth, number 8. We'll have the offset eye in the backfield. One of the captains of this team, Matthew Budarazzi, as the fullback. We'll see if they give it to him as an up man. And Illingworth will keep it himself. Didn't need much. And on the second effort there, a good push by the Fairport offensive line. Gets the 2 yards. And that is going to be another 1st down. That 1st down presented by Tracy Door Company. Get a Tracy Door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
1st down.
First and 10 at the 46. And again, everybody packed in here. They're not even trying to present like they're going to throw the ball here. Dangerous. That ball will go down to the 41 for gain of 3. Jackson Monty with the carry.
And you see Matthew Budarazzi playing the role of fullback here from the backfield, giving a good push up front, right up the middle.
Down.
Making nice little chunky yards there, a little 5-yard gain for the Red Raiders here, setting up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, so they're going to continue to use the running back GG, taking the snap here as Illingworth will remain on the sideline here on 2nd down and 5. The handoff going right side, and it's going to be Monty. And then Monty, good tackle there. And that time, see, you miss one tackle, but then you come back. There's always another play. So good tackle there by Jordan Kujowski.
You're seeing some wrinkles out of the Red Raider offense with Gigi handing the ball off.
Certainly 4-down territory here as the ball down to the 37.
It's 3rd down.
Nobles wearing number 3 tonight in the backfield. GG, he's going to keep it himself, bouncing off a tackler across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line for a gain of 9, and that puts him over 100 yards on the evening.
Joe Gigi, the offense tonight for the Fairport Red Raiders, and I don't know, he looks to be, G, like a patient runner on this, waiting for that hole to open up, and then just bursting through it, getting enough for the 1st down and keeping this drive alive for Fairport.
Somebody from RH has to step up and make a play here. GG will remain here as the person taking that shotgun snap. Takes it and will hand it off. Monty gets stood up, however. And that's back at the 29-yard line for a loss on the play. Jason Dang in on the tackle, number 54.
Monty on the carry.
We'll say I like these uniforms.
They're sharp.
Yeah.
They are sharp. We got a little information that these white-on-white uniforms are going to be a thing of the past here in a couple of seasons.
Yeah, that is a new rule in the New York State High School Athletic Association. You can't have the same colors, the numbers on the jersey. You need something contrasting as it's another short handoff.
Pat Nobes on the carry.
But you'll notice the matte helmet for RH, they do not get the stripe until they get their first win. So 3rd down and 9 coming up.
3rd down
and a different looking Fairport
Raiders.
Red Raider offense this drive with their sophomore starting quarterback Illingworth on the sideline.
GG with the hard count. RH not buying it. Budarazzi shuffles over a few steps, and we're going to have a delay of game. Once you see the back judge starting to count it down, you got to know, get that snap going. So they'll make it now 3rd and 14.
Penalty is
Illingworth back in the game for the long yardage situation, Gene.
It's still 3rd down.
Budarazzi is their fullback. Whistle and a timeout called by Fairport. Fairport using their 2nd timeout here in this first half with 7:57 remaining. 7-6 Red Raiders leading here in the 2nd. It's William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive on CW Rochester.
We can hear him when we're off the air. It's when we're on the air, we can't hear him. So
I'll text Kevin. I'll be like, hey.
It might have said it earlier in the game.
Joe Gigi with an 81-yard touchdown run, and O.J. Santiago taking a screen pass, 49 yards for the touchdown. The difference is a block extra point here.
And Illingworth on the sideline again, Gene.
Yeah, it's interesting on 3rd and long here, as Gigi will be out of the shotgun and movement everywhere. And that's one thing you just don't want to see if you're head coach Mike Wayne. A false start coming out of a timeout.
Flag on the field, false start against Fairport.
Maybe it's one of those plays that you didn't get enough reps in, but now 3rd and 19.
Coach Wayne frustrated on the sideline. You know, now in a 3rd and long situation. Illingworth on the sideline. And now the hope is that you can get maybe a bigger gain out of Joe Gigi as Illingworth enters the game again.
Yep, gets the call from his head coach. Monty will come off the field. I think it's pretty clear here. You're not going to get the first down likely, so try to get a nice chunk here to set yourself up nicely. Although we should point out they do have a very good place kicker in Tyler Pucci. Maybe they give him a crack at it. There's a miscommunication as Illingworth was looking left to hand it off, except going to the right there was Gigi, and now the special teams unit will come out.
Well, it was a drive that had some promise to start, Gino, and they threw out a different wrinkle there that Rush-Henrietta kind of adjusted to. A couple of mental errors forcing the Red Raiders back. And we'll have a change of possession here with the punt.
So if you were going to go for a field goal, that would be, 52. I know Pucci's good, but in a game like this, field position so important. As Pucci now will try to angle it to the near side. That is an excellent kick. It dies out inside the 5. It's rolling. It's down at the 1. Did they rule it down to the 1? They're going to give it to him. Fairport does it on special teams.
Pucci's punt down on the 1. Rush-Henrietta football.
William Frank, number 20, and the special teams unit getting it done.
Kick just died right there inside the 5, Gene. Well done.
That does get a nice roll. And then Frank doing his best to stay out of the end zone there. We have a flag on the play coming up at halftime. We'll have an interview with Fairport AD, also the MVP Healthcare Scholar Athletes. That's brought to you by Empire Tractor of Batavia. We're here to help you grow.
Fairport Athletic Director Brett Provenzano coming up at halftime, Gene. Has a stake in this game with his son playing left tackle for the Red Raiders. Superintendent Provenzano, I should say.
We appreciate everybody from Fairport allowing us out here tonight. And so now we're going to have a block below the waist going against RH. And so, well, was that the 1? I don't think you get 2Q here if you're Ryan Kramer, the OC for RH. Just give it to Jaden Scott and try to give yourself a little bit of room here.
Well, I was going to say, Gene, that you know, maybe this is the opportunity for Jason Collins to give Jaden Scott the kind of big play that he had in the spring when these two teams faced off. The first play from scrimmage when these two teams faced off, Scott taking it to the house with an 80-yard touchdown, a 70-yard score, I should say, in the spring against Fairport. So they might have something special dialed up here if they get a little breathing room here from the goal line.
Brock in his own end zone to take the shotgun snap, and we have movement beforehand. And it's, well,
week 1.
Yeah. Half the distance of what, though, at this point? Still 1st and 10. We're not going to say 1st and 11. That punt was down at the 1, so backed up as far as you can go now. RH in their own end zone with Scott as the running back. It's going to be a throw. They're going to go for it all, going long, and it's going to be overthrown, but a flag coming down. They're going to get Jackson Monty with the hold, and that will give RH. Now remember, in Section 5, it's not a spot foul, but that gets the Royal Comets out of their own end zone.
A little bit of a gutsy call by Coach Jason Collins there, using the speed of O.J. Singletary and knowing that he could get behind that defense quickly. See a little tug there, holding him back. Not sure that was catchable.
Yeah, that's where I think the fans might have an issue there. But the official was right there to see what was happening. Might have been out of our
view. Is pass interference against Fairport. Result of the play is
so that'll move it up to about the 15-yard line, which is good for another Tracy Dorr first down. Get a Tracy Dorr, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family. Handoff will go to Scott. Scott has room. Scott taking a tackler with him, and he's up to the first down marker. Pretty close to it. William Frank with the tackle.
I love the battle happening on the inside. Sam Bowden, Rush-Henrietta, senior tackle, really creating some space for Scott to get a few yards there.
Gene Scott, 7 carries, 30 yards for the Royal Comets, who trail by 1 here as we're nearing the midway point of the second quarter. It's going to be a flare out to him on the far side. Makes one man miss, picks up a blocker, breaking a tackle. He's got the first down. So 3 plays, 3 first downs on a drive that started inside of their own 1. Now they have it up to their own 37.
Getting the ball in the hands of their playmaker, Gene Jaden Scott, state champion wrestler, top 30 in the nation at his weight. And, of course, spending a lot of time in the weight room there, able to kind of break it to the outside. And it took more than one guy to bring him down.
Aiden Arena hanging on until help arrived. Let's see if they keep it with Scott here as the tight end lining up a half yard behind the line of scrimmage. Brock awaiting the shotgun snap. He'll hand it off once again to Scott. And Scott keeping those legs moving. Short gain on the play. And that will be one of the leaders on this team, Matthew Budarazzi, with the tackle. Not before a gain of 4, though, for the Royal Comets.
And you'll see Budarazzi on the offensive side of the ball playing a little fullback and leading the way for Joe Gigi for the Red Raiders when they have the ball again on offense.
Three wide receivers. Play action, and down he goes as breaking through Owen Collins, number 68, with the sack.
68, Owen Collins.
I'm sure Brock would have liked to have handed that off, but designed run.
It's
Fairport there to sniff it out.
Third down and 9 after that sack. Looking back for the adjustments. 2 safeties playing up high here, and the whistle and a timeout. So on 3rd and 9, RH not sure what to do here.
Has taken a timeout.
We'll have the 3rd down and 9 play coming back after this short break. Certainly a good game here tonight. Opening night here tonight from Joe Cummings Field. It's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive here on CW Rochester. During the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the attorney William Matar player of the game. And we've got a few candidates already there. A play by plays. Yeah, big play by Santiago. GG with a big run. Again, you are watching Friday Night Rivals, William Matar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. Gene Battaglia, Mike Danger, Kevin Roche. Steve Sinusol, our red cap tonight. 3rd down and 9. As Brock, pump back, fakes, throws, right side, going deep, going up the ladder. Is it complete on the far side? Officials looking. They're going to confer.
Completed pass.
Yep, they're going to call it. Big completion here. And now it looks like RH wants to get right back up to the line of scrimmage. That goes down to the 29-yard line.
Complete.
That's a gain of 30.
For a gain of 30.
That's Nasir Patton, a sophomore, climbing the ladder. This is a drive that started inside of their own one. Fourth first down in this drive, and then breaking a tackle. As Jaden Scott.
But you have
Scott,
a feeling
the ball
Rush-Henrietta
carrier for
knows
a
they've
gain
got the
of
Red
7.
Raiders defense on their
Second
heels right now,
down.
Gene. They're trying to speed this up a little bit here and close out this drive, which would be, as you mentioned, a 99-yard drive. That's a momentum changer.
Big play by Evan Brock, too. We have an injury on the far side.
Yeah, and that's Jaden Scott.
Scott kind of coming in. Hopefully it's just a cramp, and usually opening night, September, it's not hot out, but certainly cramping is an issue.
Looks like it.
Yeah. $160, $170. State champion in that weight class.
Yeah, and Coach Collins couldn't say enough nice things about his team captains, including Jaden Scott, who's getting work done right now. Looks like he's getting some cramps worked out. But yeah, spending a lot of time in the weight room, and says that he's got a decision on where he's going to go to school after the football season is up, Gene. And Coach Collins says, you know, when you watch him run, got a little Barry Sanders in him there, Jaden Scott. You know, got the breakaway speed, but a little bit of wiggle, and we've seen a little bit of both the breakaway speed and the wiggle out of Jaden Scott. Let's hope he's okay, and we get to see more of him tonight.
Well, it's an unfortunate break here for a few reasons. Obviously, you don't want to see a player cramping up like this. And for RH, their offense was moving. This gives Fairport a chance to kind of regroup, settle down, because they were on their heels here.
I think what's going to be intriguing to watch out of Fairport's offense when they get the ball back is, do they continue to kind of throw a little wrinkle? Will we see more of Gavin Illingworth here in a hurry up, you would imagine, and a 2-minute offense here to wrap up the first half if they get the ball back here? Looks like Scott is off on his own power, stretching it out.
So the down and distance favorable here for RH after that 8-yard gain by Scott. Second down and 2 at the 21. We've yet to have a play run inside the red zone here tonight. It's all been the scores have come outside, as here will be the bubble screen going far side and breaking a tackle and getting another first down.
Brock's pass complete. Tackle made by number.
Play good for another Tracy Dorr first round. Get a
Marcus
Tracy
Sobel.
Dorr, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy Dorr.
Enough for a Rush-Henrietta first
on the red
down.
zone, certainly. Connors and Ferris, our sponsor, inside the Connors and Ferris injury law red zone. Greg Connors supporting high school football at every level, Danger. We've had a chance to meet Greg. Fantastic guy. First and 10 at the 15. The keeper and Brock will take the pile and go down to about the 10 for a gain of 5.
Brock, the ball carrier, tackle made by number 33, Matt Udarazzi.
Udarazzi with the tackle.
Second down and 6.
Junior Caden Johnson in the backfield now for the Royal Comets, while Jaden Scott works on that leg cramp.
Uh-oh, putting it on the turf, and there you see maybe the lack of reps there between the backup running back and the quarterback, but luckily for RH, Brock falling on it, no gain on the play.
Tackle made by number 76, Marcus Sobel. It's third down.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, it'd be interesting if RH opts here to go for it on fourth down should they not get it. Four wide receivers. Santiago is in the slot to the near side as the keeper by Brock again. Brock, first down yardage. Brock to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Rush-Henrietta. That's another American Custom Exteriors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. And RH taking the lead here. It's 12-7.
Well, it was one of the things that head coach Jason Collins told us about his quarterback, Evan Brock.
11-yard carry.
The junior is a dual threat, and here, opting to keep it, finding a hole, and then using a little power at the end to close out the run for the touchdown.
You want to talk about signature drives?
99 yards.
I don't think you get much more signature than 99 yards.
After attempt.
Kick is blocked once again.
Aiden Arena around the corner once again. That's his second blocked extra point of the game. You might want to account for him the next time you got the kicking game out on the field.
Fairport 7.
So RH taking the lead here for the first time tonight. 12-7 is our score, and Evan Brock doing it himself, finishing that drive off, getting the touchdown.
Evan Brock has been an emotional leader all night tonight, right? We've seen him lower his shoulder a couple of times to the delight of his teammates on the Rush-Henrietta sideline, and now we see if Jaden Scott is able to return here in the second half, assuming that that will be the next time that we see the Rush-Henrietta offense.
Yeah, Evan Brock, man, he plays kind of like how Jim Kelly would. Like, you're the linebacker mentality. I'm going to take everybody on here. It sets the tone for everybody on that RH offense.
Yeah, and Jason Collins told us he has great command of this offense as well, so a lot of trust between head coach, offensive coordinator, and junior quarterback Evan Brock of the Royal Comets.
Robert Cameron will be deep back here for the Red Raiders, along with the new number 3 tonight, Patrick Nobles. Ethan Smith not available tonight.
Kicking off for Rush-Henrietta, number 62, Corey Jones.
Corey Jones will be the kickoff specialist. Also plays a little defensive tackle here. And the lefty kick. It's a nice one off here. That's going to be caught. And that will be Nobes. Nobes gets it up and across the 30 and up to the 32.
Nobes on the return.
As we look back at that scoring drive, the illuminating expression scoring summary, 99 yards on that last drive. Jaden Scott with a couple of nice runs, then he had to go out, but then it would be that man capping it off.
Evan Brock, just absolutely lowering his shoulder. We've seen him do it multiple times tonight.
So here we go again with the Fairport offense without Illingworth at quarterback. It'll be GG. I don't think you call this a wildcat. What do we call this? Just the wing T here is it'll be coming through GG, and he gets tripped up. Would have had a lot of yards ahead of him. So that defensive lineman tried to get that number there, and then kind of slow to get up.
Number 2, Jordan Kajowski.
Oh, and is that GG?
It is GG's.
Oh, no.
Slow to get up. So we've seen now both starting running backs hampered here at the end of the first half.
Sean Buick making that tackle. Now GG trying to get off the field, and you hope that's just a cramp. So with GG off the field, Illingworth will come in to run the offense at quarterback. 2nd down and 5. However, you look up at the clock, you're like, oh my goodness, we're down to 107 remaining here. It doesn't seem like Fairport has a sense of urgency here with time winding down as we're less than a minute to go here. as the handoff goes to Monty. Jackson Monty, who had the big game-winning goal in the sectionals over Pittsburgh.
Made by number 9,
for the
Caden
Fairport
Johnson.
lacrosse team. Gets the handoff up to the 41.
Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd down.
Fairport does get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, we should point out, is the handoff. Once again, that'll be Monty, and once again, he'll be short. The question is, does RH call a timeout here?
Monty, the ball carrier.
And it looks like Jason Collins will just kind of let it roll. This is going to bring up 4th and 1.
Gain of 2, 4th down.
Well, they're going to measure, so that's why they stop the clock. Yeah, it's not even close to a 1st down. They'll just roll the clock here. And that'll bring us to the half here. The clock not rolling on our screen, but their horn will sound.
And at the end of the first half,
and the fans from RH making some noise on the far side.
7.
RH leading here 12-7. Momentarily, we'll send it downstairs to Kevin Roche, third member of our broadcast team. Kevin is ready to go. We send it downstairs to Kevin.
All right, here with RH head coach Jason Collins. And what did that say about your team and the composure of your guys on that 99-yard drive to take the lead here?
You know, we knew coming in here tonight they were excited. You know, new turf, under the lights. The students are back, man. This is a great atmosphere tonight. Our kids weathered the storm. They settled down and played some good football.
Obviously concerned with your quarterback getting his first start. He's answered the call, hasn't he?
Absolutely. You know, he played varsity baseball in the spring. He's been in some big games. And, you know, I told him just do what you've been doing all camp, and he's done a good job.
Jaden Scott went down on that drive. Can you tell us about his injury and if he'll be back?
Little cramp will be good.
Excellent. And your kicking game, any concerns with your kicking game? Missing 2 extra points.
We're going to keep scoring touchdowns. That's all we got to keep doing.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. Appreciate your time. Head coach Jason Collins and the RH Royal Comets with the lead at half here at Fairport. It's 12-7 RH. This is Friday Night Rivals on CW Rochester.
And welcome back to the Empire Tractor halftime report as it's RH, thanks to a 99-yard drive, leading here at Fairport 12-7. Every week during Friday Night Rivals, we are certainly going to recognize the best of Section 5, not just on the field, but also in the classroom, the MVP Scholar Athlete Program. Now, as you can see, each school selects one athlete students recognize, just not for what's on the field, but certainly for their leadership, both on and off the field. They have to be a senior and a student athlete. And, you know, each nominee, well, you send it a video to 13 Wham. One winner will be selected for a $5,000 scholarship to the school of their choice. So why not? Check it out on our website here and learn a little more information.
Be interesting to see what we see out of Fairport here coming into the second half, as we still see Joe Gigi getting some work done on the sideline, their star running back.
Yeah, he did not go back with his teammates. Joe Gigi has actually got ice on his left ankle. So we are going to go downstairs. Kevin Roche. Kevin, take it away.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Here with Brett Provenzano, the superintendent of schools here at Fairport, and also his son, Nick, playing the offensive and defensive lines for Fairport here tonight. So obviously an interested parent as well as an administrator. Talk to us about just being back here when you woke up this morning. A full slate of games here on campus. Fall is back, sports are back.
Yeah, it's been great seeing the energy all week. You know, we started out with field hockey early in the week, and there's been soccer games, and now we're culminating it with a great community activity here. It's great to see our students engaged, our community engaged, and our families here as well.
As a parent, of your son playing on the team, as I mentioned. As an administrator, how important is it, seems like this, to have all these kids back together doing what they love to do?
It's about our community pride and community spirit. I mean, we have high expectations for all of our students, all of our programming, and we're excited to be a part of it. And that's the essence of what I feel is just excitement.
Have certainly some exciting things going on here at this school district. Brand new turf we're on here tonight. Also some other projects going on.
Absolutely, it's coming to fruition. We have a project that's renovating our cafeteria, our science classrooms, a lot of infrastructural changes. It's part of a multi-step process to keep our facilities on par and meet our community's expectations for our facilities.
Well, thank you so much for having us here tonight for Friday Night Rivals. We want to present to you a $500 gift card from William Mattar for your school district and continued improvements here at Fairport.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We'll use it well towards our students and programming. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate your time, Brett Provenzano, the superintendent here at Fairport. We're at halftime, 12-7 RH over Fairport. We'll be back on Friday Night Rivals here on CW Rochester.
As Brent Musburger would say, you're looking live. That's Joe Gigi. And for Fairport to have any chance, get some ice on that left ankle. He's certainly the key player. Gigi, unofficially, we have him at 6 carries, 106 yards already for Fairport. And hopefully he can come back into the game. You're watching the Empire Tractor halftime report, where our score, Rush-Henrietta leading Fairport 12-7. We send it downstairs to Kevin Roche.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. Here with Athletic Director for Rush-Henrietta, Tom Stewart. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. A great night just to be back. We were just talking off camera what this means for both schools, this rivalry.
Oh, it's incredible. Well, we have a great rivalry with Fairport. We always have, as long as I've been in Rush-Henrietta, and even before that, especially in football. So it's a great opportunity for our kids to get together, and a great night for football, that's for sure.
Great things happening at this school district. Great things on the horizon at Rush-Henrietta as well. What can you tell us about it?
Well, this is a beautiful facility, and we're hoping we have a good proposal that's out there right now in our community for a new stadium that'll be right next to our existing stadium, and new tennis courts as well. So we're very excited. The new stadium would have lights and turf and all of the whistles and bells that we need. Yeah.
How difficult is it not to have lights and things like that in 2021? It makes scheduling tough, doesn't it?
Studio
It does.
feed, but I
It's
can't.
very
we can't hear
difficult.
them in our headphones.
We're looking forward to getting
Hear
the lights.
from
That's for sure.
Patrick's
It's been a
feed.
challenge, but we make do.
Well, best of luck to you with everything going on at Rush-Henrietta. We appreciate your time here tonight, and I know you're hoping the scoreboard stays the same way with the Comets' victory tonight.
A lot of fun. Appreciate it very much.
All right, Tom Stewart, Rush-Henrietta Athletic Director. We appreciate his time. Gene, back up to you.
We'll have more here at the Empire Tractor halftime report coming in next on CW Rochester. Royal Comets leading 12-7. We send it downstairs to Kevin Roche.
All right, Coach, talk about your impressions of the first half and how your team played.
It looked like a first game. You know, we gave up some silly big plays. There's some, a couple penalties and big plays. I mean, it's really, that's the story of it. I thought we played pretty sound for the most part, but we got to clean those things up and execute and move the ball a little better. I think we'll be all right.
Best of luck in the second half. Appreciate you.
Fairport, so sorry for the graphic there. But while we have a second here, let's give you some of the highlights from across the country. Each week during halftime on our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we'll be showcasing outstanding talent and highlights from around the country. Here's some of the best from last week.
Okay, here we go. This is early in the game. Big play of the game, Joe Gigi breaking it off for an 81-yard run. First play from scrimmage for the Fairport Red Raiders to give them the early 7-0 lead.
And then O.J. Santiago just taking it right at the line of scrimmage, just a simple screen, and out the door he goes, 49 yards. Now, the kick would be blocked. First block of the night. All right, say he's going to get another. Aiden Arena with the block. Great pump fake, though. That's Brock, and then climbing the ladder. Great play by the receiver for RH. Brock finishing off the drive with the touchdown run. The extra point would be blocked once again. And our score, 12-7 here on the Empire Tractor of Batavia halftime show. And that's great news there for Fairport. Joe Gigi, who could not finish up the first half. We saw him icing that left ankle throughout halftime, did not join his teammates, got the treatment. And if Fairport's going to come back in this game, they're going to look to him, Fairport, to receive here in the second half.
And on the other sideline, Gino, let's keep an eye on what happens with Jaden Scott, who pulled up a little bit lame there in the end of the first half with some cramping, it looked like. We'll see if we see more of him here in the second half of this game.
Well, we want to thank the administrators here at Fairport for their time here at the half. Kevin Roche doing the hustling down on the sidelines. Gene Battaglia and Mike Danger here with you. Opening night from Joe Cummings Field here on the campus of Fairport High School. This proud Fairport program here, and you only get 8 of these. It's football. That's what makes football so great at every level. Baseball, you got another game. Hockey, you got, if you're in the pros, you got 82 of them. You only have 8 nights like this. We're so glad you're with us.
And I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of heart out of the Red Raiders here in the second half. You mentioned a lot of pride in this organization, in this school district. 3 New York State championships, 11 Section 5 titles, and certainly looking to improve off of a spring where they had a record of just 1-5.
Mike Wayne, who joined us, 2005 graduate of Fairport. We talked to him last night on a Zoom call, and he really didn't want, almost like downplaying it, like, hey, no, it's just another night. But I would have to think it's special when you come back to your own alma mater to coach.
And maybe a little bit of pressure as well on Coach Wayne. I mean, look, again, a proud history here. And as they say, once a Raider, always a Raider. He graduates from Fairport High School and now roaming the sidelines here on Friday nights, trying to get his team a win in Week 1.
Mike Wayne played for Mike Erlin back in 2005 when he graduated, went to St. Lawrence and did a little of everything on that offense. And as you mentioned, for RH defensively here tonight, pretty much key in on Gigi. That's what it has to be, and I'm wondering if Fairport will open up the playbook here and show a little more pass. Didn't show any pass there with Illingworth in that first half.
They're playing a little bit conservative with their sophomore starting quarterback here, and we actually saw some packages in that first half that had Gigi in the backfield taking the direct snap while Illingworth was on the sideline.
So here's the A+ junk removal kickoff. A+, we want your junk. Patrick Nobes, along with number 11, Robert Cameron, back for the Red Raiders. And to kick this off, this will be the big man, Corey Jones. Corey Jones gets an end-over-end kick. That's a live ball. And Nobes will pick up, makes one man miss, and gets it across the 30 and up to about the 32. And indeed, Joe Gigi will be out there with the rest of his offensive teammates. And that offensive line, Zealous, Bruce, John Myers, Henry Kriegel, Marcus Sobel, Nicholas Provenzano.
Yeah, the big guys on the edges. I'd like to see more runs by Gigi exploiting the size that they have there at the left and right tackle with Bruce and with Provenzano. Let's see if they can exploit those seams a little bit, Gene.
Scott Thompson will be at tight end here on this 1st and 10 play, as Illingworth will be out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and the handoff to Gigi, and Gigi trying to get around the left side. That's where he found success on that first play.
Gigi, the ball carrier.
It's a good gain of 4, up to about the 36.
Boy, but doesn't it feel to you, Gene, that
Tackle made by
the
number
Rush-Henrietta
58,
defense has
Sean
kind of
Hewitt.
keyed on GG? And if you're going to beat us, it's going to have to be with somebody other than number 24 after that first play from scrimmage where he took it to the house for an 81-yard touchdown. Fairport's only points of the night.
We have a player down here for the Royal Comets, so we got an injury timeout. With the injury timeout, we will step aside. RH leading Fairport 12-7. It's Friday Night Rivals here on CW Rochester.
Do we know who's hurt?
No. That doesn't look like a cramp, though.
No.
Damn it. All right, Patrick, what's our game plan here? This is gonna be an injury. It's gonna take a little bit.
Bernaducci.
No.
Oh.
Oh, it is Bernaducci, yeah. Sorry. So the good news is that the RH player was able to roll over, now kind of sitting up there, but now going back down. And that's number 11, Tyler Bernaducci, who is, gosh, he is the leader in that secondary danger. It does everything at the safety position. Heck of a lacrosse player, too, is Bernaducci.
Yeah, we had the chance to talk to Rush-Henrietta head coach Jason Collins earlier in the week. Bernaducci, this is a versatile, high IQ junior playing slot receiver for the Royal Comets. All county in the spring as a sophomore as well. A standout lacrosse player, as you mentioned. This would be a loss for the Royal Comets, and you hate to see this kind of injury.
And Coach Collins right out there leaning over him. We're not going to zoom in here, folks. So we want nothing but the best here. Second down and 6 will be the down and distance when we start back up. Okay, so sitting up now. Coach Jason Collins, the rest of those RH players. Not sure what happened on that play, Danger. I didn't see it. Did you see it? Yep. With the injury timeout, we will step aside. This is Willie Matar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive here on CW Rochester. thought they had to have an ambulance on the field or at the ready for every game. Boy, on a night where packed house, we can't overlook that danger, the fact that we are actually all kind of celebrating. And in the spring, it was just, family basically. You couldn't, not everybody could come out to these games. Just a great atmosphere here tonight at Joe Cummings Field. And now we have an injury that it's kind of taken some of the fun out of this here tonight. Injured player is Tyler Benarducci. He is a junior. And over there also is Mike Wayne, the head coach of Fairport, just to see if there's anything that he or his staff could do.
And it looks like the Card is heading onto the new turf here. And all you can do is hope for the best for Tyler and his family. Hope that the injury isn't as significant as it appears right now. The Rush-Henrietta sideline taking a knee for their brother.
Well, with this long break, I'm wondering if, the players will be allowed to warm up here. As now the fans applauding here.
Bernaducci carried to the Card. Yeah. Hope the best for that young man.
That is a huge loss for this RH defense. See how they react now. I want to say it's been close to 10 minutes here. We've been stopped because of the injury. So see if the officials, we see some players on Fairport warming up on the sideline to the near side.
Before the injury, we got to see Joe Gigi return here in the second half after he was injured at the end of the first half for that 5-yard gain, first play from scrimmage in the second half. The distraught Tyler Bernaducci.
So here we go. After the break, Fabian Hernandez will be lining up as a tight end to the right in this formation on 2nd down and 6. As the clock starts back up, this will be the second play of this second half. Fairport down by 5 is Illingworth will hand it off as Gigi will
Gigi, the ball carrier,
get about 4 yards.
7, Brandon Scott.
So unofficially we have Gigi at 7 carries, 110 on the night.
And you see Max Kander, senior captain for this Rush-Henrietta team, now playing back safety in the role of Bernaducci.
Well, if there's anybody that could step in and know the positions, you would figure it would be Kander. They run that 4-4. Here's now going to be Gigi. Gigi gets slowed up. Can he get to the outside? And Kander will chase him out of bounds. Big play all the way down to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 26.
Gigi for a gain of 26. Pushed out of bounds by number 10.
Well, this Fairport Red Raiders offense has gone through number 24 all night long. You see the hole for Gigi, a missed tackle, and then just a sprint to the outside. And with Kander back there, Kander able to prevent a touchdown from happening.
That play was good for another Kangaroo first down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, home of Kangaroo. We hop to it. As now Gigi spinning away from one tackle. That angle looks good now as he gets it down to the 32.
Gigi, the ball carrier, tackle made by number 55, Garrett Day.
Day with the tackle. After a gain of 3.
Down.
And now the fans into it, the student section all on their feet here to the right of us. Nine men in the box here, so to speak, for RH on this 2nd down and 7. Illingworth, the play action, rolling to his right, throwing on the run. He's got the big man for the first down. Hauling that one in. That's the fullback, Matthew Budarazzi. First down for Fairport.
Well, you know, at some point tonight that they were going to have to make a play outside of from Gigi, and here it is. We see the play action, and then the pass to Budarazzi for the first down. First time that we've seen Budarazzi catch a pass out of the backfield, and big play for Illingworth, who needs a little confidence in his game here in the second half.
2 minutes gone by here in the opening drive of this third quarter. Budarazzi now lining up on the right side. The handoff going to Gigi, burst around the right side, breaks a tackle, and he lowers the shoulder, and he's close to a first down.
Gigi, the ball carrier, forced out
one of the keys to the
Kander.
game today. Head coach Jason Collins preached that this Rush-Henrietta defense was going to have to focus on the fundamentals and make sure that they're finishing their tackles. We've seen Joe Gigi tonight break more than his fair share of tackles, and even with a little bit of a bum ankle, Gigi still picking up big yardage.
Inside the Connors and Ferris injury law red zone. Here will be the handoff. And Gigi taking tacklers with him.
Gigi, the ball carrier, tackled by number 17, Hudson Whitbeck.
Whitbeck with the tackle, but not before first down. We got a first down and goal to go.
Result of the play is a Red Raider first down.
Gigi now at 151 yards on the night. And out comes Illingworth. Jackson Monty will check in. So more of a power formation here for the Fairport Red Raiders on 1st and goal from the 9. The handoff, left side, breaking a tackle and then getting down to the 1. That's going to be Patrick Nobes.
Nobes, the ball carrier.
Gain of 8 for Nobes.
Tackled by O.J. Singletary.
Nice to see the sophomore making a play. I think that Rush-Henrietta probably focusing on the playmaker, Joe Gigi. The handoff to Nobes. Nice little gain. Just short of the goal.
Gigi out of the shotgun. Takes the snap himself. Gigi to the end zone. The pile moving. He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown. Joe Gigi. His second tonight. This one from 1 yard. And Fairport retakes the lead. It's now 13-12.
John Myers on the right side giving a good push for Joe Gigi's second touchdown of the night.
As the fans chanting Joey Gigi. The extra point is up and good. Tyler Pucci making it 14-12. 14-12, Fairport leading
the score
RH.
is now Fairport 14.
And that's the difference, 2 extra points here in this game. Gigi looking just fine after getting shaken up and then icing that ankle down at halftime. 12 carries, 152 yards here tonight. And yeah, he could be our William Matar player of the game. Stay tuned for that. We'll make that selection late in the 4th quarter when we have an idea of who might be coming out on top. But certainly RH, who has moved the ball pretty well tonight. Now it's their turn on offense. As we take another look at this last drive. This is the nice play by Illingworth, and you know at some point they were going to do something like that, and when you have a Budarazzi coming out there almost acting like the tight end, that's just a great time to call that play.
Yeah, and Gigi, of course, you know, toting the rock for the first down there. Love that drive for Fairport, their first of the second half after the injury timeout. Nice to see Illingworth gain a little confidence through the course of that drive as well. And then, of course, as that drive finishes, well, it finishes on the strength of Joe Gigi at the goal line and that push from the Red Raider offensive line.
The Illuminating Expressions scoring summary. Illuminating expressions where light comes to life. We have a touchback tonight on the opening kickoff for Tyler Pucci. Another A+ junk removal kickoff coming up. A+. We want your junk.
Aiden Arena for our player of the game. 2 blocked extra points.
Pucci to kick off. Singletary and
it's not a joke. I mean, that's the difference right now.
Rush-Henrietta.
End over end kick that's going to be caught at the 8. And Santiago bringing it to the outside to the 30, and a flag coming down. And normally when it comes from that trajectory, it's going to be against the team returning it.
25-yard return.
Singletary getting 25 yards on that return. Let's see if it comes back.
Push out of bounds by number 12.
Well, RH had a 99-yard touchdown drive last time, so this will be better field position, whatever the outcome. Yeah, you almost forget that as good as Fairport special teams have been tonight, they had a punt that was down at the 1.
What do they say about 3 phases, Gene?
You
want to win all 3 phases of the game, right?
That's the difference right now. 14-12, Fairport with the advantage. So the penalty will mean RH starts this drive at their 15. Now, the good news, I believe that it is going to be Scott out there. Hard to tell. Folks, I apologize for the white numerals on the white jerseys. I'm sure it's tough, even in high definition at home, for you to see us. But, oh, here's a good play, as that's going to be across the 25 and good enough for the first down. Evan Brock, get him going, getting it up to the 27-yard line for a gain of 13.
Gain of 13.
Brock with the
first down.
Play action, the keeper.
Good block there, picking up.
Going to take more than one guy to bring down the junior quarterback for the Royal Comets.
There's Sear Patton will be the receiver to the near boundary. He had that acrobatic catch on the last drive. Handoff going between the tackles to Scott. Scott getting it up near midfield. And flips the ball right to the official. He gets it up to the 50-yard line for a gain of 23.
Scott, the ball carrier.
Great blocking up front by the Rush-Henrietta starting line. Anchored by Sam Bodden on the right. Sean Buick at center.
17-yard
creating a little gap there for Jaden Scott. Nice big yardage gain for Scott. He's got a history against the Fairport Red Raiders after taking it to the house when they met each other in the spring on the first play from scrimmage.
Play good for another Kangaroo first down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, home of Kangaroo. We hop to it. 1st and 10 from the 50. Scott, stutter steps. Scott taking a tackler with him. That was Budarazzi. Budarazzi was not going to let him go. And Budarazzi stops him after a gain of 2.
Looked like Budarazzi was going to go for a little bit of a ride there as he was taking Scott down, limiting the gain. 2nd down.
Brock and the rest of his teammates looking back at the sideline. Out there we see Scott Brandon. He's a tight end. Wearing number 7, going into motion. Get movement on the line. And it's going to go against RH.
That's Ryan Cornish getting a little bit of jump.
False start against Rush-Henrietta. 5-yard penalty, spill. 2nd down.
It goes back into Royal Comet territory.
It is still week 1, Gene. We've seen a couple of mental errors from both teams tonight. False start penalties.
It'll happen. It's tough to get to real speed in practice. Everybody looking the wristband on 2nd down and 13. Brock takes the shotgun snap, and he'll hand it off, breaking an arm tackle and getting back some of the yards.
Scott, the ball carrier,
will be Scott. Scott getting it up to the 49.
4. It's 3rd down.
Third down and 9. He's got 10 carries, 65 yards tonight. 3 wide on 3rd and long. We'll see what Ryan Kramer dials up. Bobbling it is Brock. Brock pump fakes, didn't like what he saw. He's going to take off himself, and he gets flung out of bounds.
Good coverage downfield, but you also had Brock mishandle the snap and a little bit of hesitation where he might have thought he had a man, instead holding on to it. And unlike many times as we've seen tonight out of Brock, not able to lower that shoulder and get around the corner to gain any yardage here. 4th down for the Royal Comets coming up.
Joe Gigi knocking him out of bounds, so he's doing it both ways. And now
Singletary back to punt.
Singletary will punt this away. Monty and Nobes back for the Red Raiders as RH putting some players out there last second here. A little bit of a high snap, and he's going to have to take off. Oh, he could get it. Santiago going for the first down marker on a busted play.
Yeah, it's close. Singletary was close to that first down marker, but he might have gotten pushed back.
I think they're going to give him forward progress.
Forward progress might give him the first down. And boy, it looked like, it sure didn't look like that was designed. It looked like a bobble snap kind of forced the issue there.
I think he looks upfield and he realizes, wait a second, I have a lot of green. You be the judge at home. Did he get to the 40?
And Singletary with that speed that we got to see on that touchdown earlier this evening, using it to try and get to that first down marker. It's close, Gene.
Honestly,
we're going to see a measurement.
I don't think he got it. They have him marking it on the chalk. Did he get to the paint of the 40?
First down.
Rush-Henrietta. The Fairport fans not liking the spot of that. What a gutsy play by Santiago. Wow. Excuse me, Singletary. O.J. Singletary. O.J. Santiago, of course, was a tight end in the league, so my apologies to the Singletary family. 1st and 10 at the 40. As Brock coming back out, takes the snap, fires left side, and had a knee down on the ground, so that'll be a gain of 5.
We've seen it all tonight, haven't we, Gene? All phases. We've seen a 99-yard drive. We've seen some big plays on defense. We've seen some explosive plays on offense and on special teams. Special teams really, rearing its head in this game, and really the difference in this game right now is blocked extra points and a punt, a failed punt attempt that goes for a first down and extends this drive for the Royal Comets.
2nd down and 5, we'll call it. Brock out of the shotgun. 4 receivers. Fairport showing blitz, and here they come. Brock in trouble, dumps it off, and can he make a man miss? He does. Getting it upfield. First down yardage, and getting it just inside the 20-yard line. What a great play by Brock to deliver. That's going to be Singletary once again in traffic.
Singletary making plays all night tonight. Jaden Scott, of course, making plays as well. But Singletary in the open field flashing a little bit of speed, a little bit of wiggle, juking a defender, making players miss, and making the most of the space he had.
Getting it to the 21-yard line as we're down to just over 4 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3 as Brock takes the snap. Brock keeping it himself. Brock going to the end zone, lowering his shoulder, he gets out of bounds. Ooh, it was stripped at the last second with a strip there. That was Robert Cameron, but unfortunately for Fairport, that rolled out of bounds.
Well, it's what we've seen all night. Rush-Henrietta's playmakers making plays, and Evan Brock, when he gets the opportunity to get that corner and lower his shoulder, he's going to make people miss, and it's a hard thing to bring that kid down. Boy, he's tough. And once again, you see with the strip there, fortunate for Rush-Henrietta that they still have possession. Timeout Fairport.
Yeah, as we're back inside the Connors and Ferris injury law red zone. This is Willie Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive, here on CW Rochester.
Thanks.
Head coach Mike Wayne of Fairport. He also calls the plays for this defense, taking it over himself, and now he's got to figure out a way as RH has had a nice balanced attack here on this drive. 1st and goal from the 8, as Brock will have his main running back, Jaden Scott, at his disposal. Handoff going to Scott, and Scott will get inside the 5. And they'll mark him down to about the 4 for a gain of 4.
Inside the 5-yard line. By number
Nicholas Provenzano with the tackle.
So head coach Mike Wayne during the timeout, get his defense around him and really try to fire him up here. He knows that there's a lot hanging on the result of this drive, so his defense looking for a stop here, obviously.
Jaden Scott remaining in at running back. Actually, it's going to be Brock to take the shotgun snap. Handing it off. And leaning forward, and again, that's going to be Provenzano helping to break through.
Shot the ball carrier, tackled.
Only a gain of 1 on the play.
It's 3rd down.
I don't think you're thinking about going for a field goal at all, not after you've had 2 extra points blocked tonight. Figure it's touchdown or bust here for RH as they all look at their wristbands. 3rd and goal from the 3. Brock, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Scott at running back. Scott going into motion. Brock going right side. Brock makes a man miss into the end zone. Touchdown. GG leaned the wrong way. Brock read it, and RH takes back the lead. It's now 18-14.
Stop the ball carrier. Result of the play is a
great block up front by Royal Comet right guard senior Sam Bodden, turning his guy around and creating that seam. You could see it right there. And then Brock doing the rest, exploiting that hole, getting it down. Bodden anchoring that Rush-Henrietta offensive line and defensive line. NFL's Alejandro Villanueva, who Coach Collins compares him to. He's got that size.
Yeah, another American Custom Exteriors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. Well, with all the trouble that RH has had with the extra points, why not go for 2 to make this a 6-point game? And it'll be Evan Brock trying to keep those legs moving, the pile moving, and the whistle blows, and it's going to be no good. So 3 touchdowns and 3 failed conversions, that time going for 2.
The score is...
Boy, you talk about the RH Royal Comets there in Sam Bowden.
Yeah, Bowden humble when we had the chance to talk to him earlier this week. 4.0 student who's chatting with the U of R, MIT, RPI for school next fall. Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, MIT. That tells you where company is going into. Here is the Illuminating Expressions scoring summary on that last drive. Illuminating Expressions, where light comes to life, and this was the play. O.J. Singletary. Teacher, honestly, I don't think he got it. If they're saying the 40-yard line, but they ruled it. A bobbled snap keeps the drive alive after Singletary improvises.
Jaden Scott doing what Jaden Scott does, and then the drive getting capped off by Evan Brock. Dual threat quarterback who's been lowering his shoulder all.
A+, we want your junk. And once again, it's going to be the big man, Corey Jones, to let this one go. GG is lined up at the 35. Just keep that in mind if this kickoff goes short. And it's going to be a kickoff. It's going to go over GG's head. He's going to help block for this, as it'll be Arena on the far side. And good field position once again for Fairport in this back and forth game.
Arena on the return.
We thank A+ Junk Removal for their sponsorship. It's been an A+ type of game here so far tonight. RH leading 18-14, 2:31 remaining here in the third.
Hey, when we first saw the Fairport offense to start the second half, got to see a little bit of Gavin Illingworth making some plays with his arm, extending drives, gaining a little bit of confidence for the sophomore. Let's see if we see more of that here in their second drive of the second half.
Yeah, the nerves have to be gone now. I could certainly understand a sophomore coming out in this environment and you know, wanting to certainly execute, and certainly the way this game was called early on by Mike Wayne's staff, just to kind of keep it simple. The snap, and Illingworth will hand it off, and Gigi is going to be met by a wall of white. There's going to be a loss of 3 on the play.
Gigi tackled by number 17, Hudson Whitbeck, and number 54.
No chance as the Royal Comet defensive line bum rush the right side of the offensive line for the Fairport Red Raiders.
It's Hudson Whitbeck, number 17, with the tackle, the sophomore. We're under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Illingworth remaining in. Budarazzi going into motion. Handoff, and that's going to be another tackle for a loss to put Fairport in an unfavorable down and distance.
Brandon Scott getting in on the tackle. Jason Dang, you saw the linebackers for the Royal Comets. Garrett Day getting in there as well to stop Gigi. And a 3rd and long coming up for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15.
Not a situation they like to find themselves in.
No, it's going to be a test here for Gavin Illingworth. Or do they keep it simple? Go back to Gigi and see what can happen here. Cameron Loft will be the receiver in the slot to the near side. He has yet to be targeted tonight. As Budarazzi going into motion, and there's movement. Oh, as a delay of game, too. So before there was movement, whistle blowing for the delay of game. So now a 3rd and 19.
Flag on the play, Fairport, delay of game. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Third and 19. The snap, and here will be the handoff. Gigi. Gigi had a steam, lowering the shoulder, and gets about half of that back, but this will bring up 4th and 10, and the punting unit will come out. Out comes Tyler Pucci.
4th down.
We see Max Kander back to field this punt. He's taken over in that safety role after the injury to Tyler Bernaducci early in this second half.
And there's going to be a flag coming down here before that snap was rolled back to Pucci. And another false start against Fairport. You know, in a game like this, Danger, am I overstating it? If I'm RH, I'm looking at this. We could go up by 2 scores with a nice drive here coming up. And I know Fairport has certainly a good running back, but this is where the game might swing here. This is a stand is going to be needed here from the Fairport defense.
Big drive on both sides of the ball coming up after this punt.
Pucci, and he's going to do his part. Kander's going to play it safe. Takes the fair catch and kind of stumbles backwards. Taking over to the 35-yard line as we're in the closing seconds here of quarter number 3. Wait a minute. Tonight's fantastic Eye in the Sky lift coverage provided by the Duke Company, equipment rental solutions for any job, any size job.
Would you say this is a pivotal drive coming up, Gene?
I'd say I like the music they're playing here tonight. It's been a mix of everything. A little bit of something for everyone here tonight.
Gene, I thought you were going to rip that suit off pregame and then run through a wall. They're playing music to get you fired up. It's like they tapped into your own personal playlist.
That's, yeah, you want to do it. You're ready to do your dad run. Here will be now 4 wide receivers. Scott, your running back here on 1st and 10. The snap, the handoff, and Scott will take it, and he'll get a gain of 3, and RH can take this for the quarter, and that's likely what they'll do.
Gain of 3, 2nd down.
We head to the 4th. Rush-Henrietta leading 18-14 here at Fairport. We go to the 4th. It's William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive on CW Rochester. 18-14. RH leading Fairport by 4. We send it downstairs to Kevin Roche.
Thanks, guys. Evan Brock doing much of the running tonight for RH, but Jaden Scott is also getting a bunch of carries in this game. And as you guys mentioned, this drive is very important for the Comets. They can pull away a little bit here. The head coach for RH described his elusiveness as Barry Sanders-like. He's tough to bring down, and this could be a drive where Rush-Henrietta uses him to put this one out of reach. Guys?
Incomplete to number 5, O.J. Singletary. It's 3rd down.
Brock had O.J. Singletary wide open. That would have gone out the door. So Fairport catching a break there. Brock missing him.
Kind of tells you where head coach Jason Collins' head is at, though, going right for the jugular first play back from the break, trying to put this one away for the Royal Comets.
Nearly had it. Kander will be the receiver to the near boundary on 3rd down and 7. Brock looking at his wristband. Now looking back at the sideline. Takes the snap, drops the ball. He's going to improvise, and wait a second. They're going to say that his knee touched when he got to pick up the ball. So that play is dead automatically. A busted play for RH. And RH making mistakes. You be the judge. Did his knee touch when he went down? Oh, yeah. That's all it needs to blow the play dead. Good call by the official.
O.J. Singletary back to punt. Monty.
Well, I want to give the Fairport defense credit there, Danger, but it's just 2 big mistakes there by RH. Nobes, number 3, along with Monty, number 7, deep back. Singletary launching a high kick that's short. It's going to take a Fairport bounce. It doesn't go for much there. 13 yards on the punt. And now Fairport with a great opportunity to retake the lead as they take over here inside of RH territory.
I know it's just a punt, Gene, but again, special teams has been a major factor in this game, and a 13-yard punt giving Fairport favorable field position here. A short field, that plays to their strengths. And if it does go Fairport's way tonight, you have to imagine that Rush-Henrietta is going to have to make some adjustments on special teams here for the rest of the season.
Kevin Illingworth will not be on the field here for this initial play, as it will be once again Joe Gigi to take the shotgun snap, full house backfield, and he'll hand off to Monty. Monty taking tacklers with him, and he'll get it down to the 41. Going for a gain of 5.
Tackled by Jordan Kajowski and Caden Johnson. 2nd down.
Second down and 5. Fullback Matthew Budarazzi leading the way on the left side. Instead, it's going to go right up the middle once again. Once again, going to Monty. That's going to be short. Gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and short.
Short gain, 3rd down.
Fairport showing us that full house backfield that they employed in the first half to some degree of success, and keeping their sophomore quarterback Evan Illingworth on the sideline, with Gigi taking the snaps from center.
3rd down and 3. 9 men in the box here once again for RH. The hard count, Gigi, the keeper. Gigi makes one cut. Gigi spinning, and he's close.
Gigi tackled by
I think he's going to be about a half-yard short, Danger. He will be. Bring up 4th down.
Of the line to gain. 4th down.
4th down and 1.
Coach Wayne probably assuming this is 2 down or 4 down territory anyways.
No doubt about it. You don't want to punt here.
Your run game should be able to pick up a half-yard on this Rush-Henrietta defense.
Well, they're trying to get RH to jump. They're not going to, and then the timeout will be called by Fairport.
Fairport has taken a
So
timeout.
Fairport calling the timeout when 4th and 1. So big play coming up when we come back after this break. RH leading by 4 here. It's Wilmington's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive on CW Rochester. Big play here for both sides. Fairport down by 4, facing a 4th and 1 at the RH 37. A lot of fans making noise here on the Fairport side. GG out of the shotgun to take the snap. Takes it. He's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down. GG spinning for more tacklers. Taking tacklers with him inside the 20-yard line. Big run for Joe GG. Down to the 19, a gain of 18.
I guess his left foot is feeling okay. Gene, we saw him limping a little bit at the end of the second half, icing it during halftime. And a big gainer here with some broken tackles for Joseph Gigi, who's been Fairport's offense. Let's face it, I mean, he's been carrying this offense on his back all night long. Another important first down.
Hudson Whitback with the tackle. That's good for a Tracy Dorr first down. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
And back on that fourth down play, I mean, this is the thing that Rush-Henrietta head coach Jason Collins was preaching to his team. Fundamentals on defense, tackling, completing your tackles. We've seen Joe Gigi break plenty of Royal Comet tackles tonight, Gene.
After that play, we have unofficially Gigi, 16 carries, 173 yards as we're back inside the Connors and Ferris injury law red zone for the 2nd and 5 play. Nobes is going to get swallowed up as the defensive line coming through.
For loss by number 60, Jacob Sturgis.
So Jacob Sturgis breaking through. Third down and 8. Fairport huddling up as you certainly believe this is 4-down territory. Gigi's going to throw. Gigi throws across the middle. It's intercepted. It's intercepted and pending. This could go the distance. Across the 30, across the 35, and then tackled down. Joe Gigi throws the interception, and that is going to be number 2 with the interception, Jordan Kajowski. Flag on the play on the far sideline on the return.
Well, we haven't seen Gigi air it out yet tonight.
Doesn't see Kajowski coming from the left side.
Kajowski on the spot, and a nice return as well. And the horse collar penalty on the tackle will tack on a few more yards to that return. Jordan Kajowski with the interception for the Royal Comets. And they're back in the driver's seat again, Gene, with 7:16 left to go in the game.
Yeah, a personal foul is going to be called against Fairport. So for the horse collar tackle on that play.
Adds 15 yards to the return. Rush-Henrietta.
Now, if I know Ryan Kramer at St. John Fisher College, they made an emphasis on the quick change. When you get a play like this is when you go for the big play. Let's see if he's going to go call the big play here. He's sitting on the opposite side of the press box here. The RH offensive coordinator.
We've seen a couple of attempts at that big play, just falling short on the execution.
Brock takes a deep breath. He's got Jaden Scott alongside of him. And Scott will take the handoff, and Budarazi will fill that hole, and it'll only go for a gain of 1.
Scott, the ball carrier, for a gain of 1, tackled by Budarazi.
Now for Fairport's defense, game's not over yet. Get the ball back for your offense and try again here. They were moving the ball very nicely.
And we saw Rush-Henrietta make a couple of mental mistakes. We had a mishandled snap with their last drive. They can clean it up a little bit here. They can put it away. Fairport's defense obviously going to have something to say about that.
2nd down and 9. The handoff going, and that will be inside the 40, and then down to about the 38. Goes Jaden
Scott. The ball carrier, tackled by Jackson Monty. Gain of 8. It's 3rd down.
3rd down and 1. Scott with 77 yards rushing on the evening as we're nearing the midway point of this 4th quarter. Kander to the near boundary, as RH is going to milk some clock here. Why not? They've got the lead by 4. Snap, the handoff, and nothing there.
Scott, the ball carrier, tackled by Provenzano.
Nicholas Provenzano meeting Scott in the backfield for a short loss.
Short of the line to gain. It's 4th down.
4th down, and no doubt RH is going to go for it inside the 40-yard line.
Let's see what Ryan Kramer dials up here in this situation, Gene, with the clock winding down and approaching 5 minutes left in the game.
Singletary will be in the slot to the left side. He looks at his wristband. 9 players up near the line of scrimmage for the Red Raiders on 4th and 1. Brock, the keeper. Brock breaks a tackle. He's got the first down and more. There he goes. 20, 15, 10, 5. Bank it. Touchdown. Touchdown. RH. 3rd tonight for quarterback Evan Brock.
Boy, what could you say about Evan Brock's performance tonight, Gene? He has been spectacular. As a dual threat and somebody that they've just not been able to account for. He's been lowering his shoulder all night. Big gains and his 3rd touchdown. The dual threat quarterback for the Rush-Henrietta Royal Comets, as you see. The play action, the missed tackles, and just the power and breakaway speed. Brock to the house. The Comets now with a 10-point lead.
That's why you put in so much time in the weight room in the offseason. Brock showing that lower body strength, not being brought down.
Attempting a 2-point try.
24-14 the score. Here's a 2-point conversion attempt, and RH has been unsuccessful on the previous 3. As Brock is going to roll to his right for the keeper, and he'll mosey on in. 2-point conversion is good. That makes the score now 26-14.
The score is
here in the 4th.
26, Fairport 14.
We will take a break here. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive on CW Rochester. Okay.
Got to be Brock for the player of the game, right?
Do it with a
bounce. Yep, gotta be.
Bounce. Do it with a 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 bounce.
The illuminating expressions, scoring summary for that last drive. The illuminating expressions where light comes to life. There is the play that ended it all. But let's go back to the beginning where Joe Gigi, operating out of the quarterback position, doesn't see Jordan Kujawski. Kujawski making the big interception. First takeaway by the RH defense. Couldn't come at a bigger time tonight.
I think it's worth noting that Evan Brock's 3rd touchdown of the night, right side of the line, where Sam Bodden has been anchoring that Rush-Henrietta Royal Comet offensive line all night long. As you see the interception return, the horse collar tackle at the end, tack on another 15 yards, putting the Royal Comets in great position.
Again, the A+ junk removal kickoff. A+, we want your junk, as the return goes up to the 38. The problem for Fairport, just one completion tonight for quarterback Gavin Illingworth. So certainly, if you're going to go to the ground game, you got to be quick and efficient and hit something big here.
Well, with 4:42, yeah, I would think that Illingworth at some point is going to have to put some air on it. Make a big play with his arm, Gino, which we've not seen a lot of tonight out of the sophomore.
He'll be out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers at his disposal with Gigi in the backfield. The snap, and Illingworth will take it himself, and we have a hold on this. This is all coming back, and I think Illingworth knows that. It's unfortunate because that would have gone for the first down, I think, before the flag came down.
The big play for the sophomore.
Forced out of bounds by Singletary.
And it looked like the Nobes with the hold on that one, Gene.
Now, those are drive killers, as they say. Stops the clock with 4:33 remaining. Just a reminder, during the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the attorney William Attar's player of the game. And if things hold up, I think it's pretty clear who we are getting here on 1st and 20. 4 touchdowns tonight for RH, 3 of them coming on the ground from the quarterback, Evan Brock. Illingworth fires left side, and that'll be the first catch tonight for number 11, Bobby Cameron. The junior will get it down up to the 45, bringing up 2nd down.
Gain of 7.
Yeah, the down and distance, the chain game is a little bit off here. It's saying 2nd and 3, but remember there was the penalty before, so yeah, that's where they have to fix the chain game. This should be 2nd and 13.
And we've got another flag on the play as well.
So we got that too. We were doing so good with flags here. Usually the first game you get a ton of them, and just there in the last few minutes, as fatigue becomes a factor. So unsportsmanlike conduct going against RH.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is called against Rush-Henrietta.
Whatever that talk was about, is it 2nd and 3, 2nd and 13? It doesn't matter now. It's a first down for Fairport.
Result of the play is a
I like what
Red
head
Raider
coach Mike
down.
Wayne has done with his sophomore quarterback here, Gavin Illingworth, this drive. He's put the ball in his hand. He's made plays with his feet, although it came back with a penalty and a short pass, getting Bobby Cameron involved in this offense as well. If anything, this great learning experience, gaining confidence here through the course of the game.
Yeah, and if he can score a touchdown, who knows what could happen here. As now the handoff is going to go Monty. Monty, a full head of steam, and picks up a block, and Monty is going to get it across the 25 and down to the 24-yard line. That's a gain of 15 for Jackson Monty.
Tackled by number 2, Jordan Kajowski. Result of the play is a
First
Red Raider
and
first
10
down.
of the 25. Rolling to his right. Illingworth, that ball is tipped, and it falls incomplete off the deflection. Trying to make the catch was Cameron Love.
Illingworth pass incomplete to number 12, Cameron Love. 2nd down.
Stops the clock with 3:43 remaining here.
Dangerous to see that ball get tipped. Boy, that would have been a dagger for Fairport had that ended up in the hands of Rush-Henrietta.
Rush-Henrietta secondary, they're practicing the tip drill right during the warm-ups.
Saw that.
2nd and 10. Handoff going right between the tackles, not for much there, maybe 2. And a tackle coming up there by...
That's Sam Bowden again.
Sam Bowden, yeah. Which, for as good as he is, I had to text coach. I'm like, what number is Sam Bowden? They left him off the roster. How could you forget Sam Bowden? Here'll be the catch on the near side. Caught. Again, that's Bobby Cameron's 2nd catch on this drive, but that's going to be short of the marker.
And Bowden doing it on the defensive line as well, chasing down Illingworth on that play and forcing him to throw that just short of the sticks here. 4th and short for the Red Raiders.
With that, it's inside the 20 once again, inside the Connors and Ferris injury law red zone. Another flag. And a false start against the Red Raiders.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The 4th and short makes it a little bit more challenging now with that 5-yard penalty knocking it back.
Should mention too, we were down on the field. Brand new surface. This is
Beautiful out here in Fairport.
Loft, Cameron, and Nobes will be split to the left. And Thompson will be the receiver to the right here. GG in the backfield on 4th down. This essentially is the game here. The keeper, Illingworth, and he is not going to get it. And the turnover on downs. And RH now just a few careful plays away from getting the victory. Buick with the tackle.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
One play swung this game. The interception by Gigi.
Yeah.
They were moving the ball, danger. Had RH on its heels. And the big interception by Jordan Kujawski.
It's been an entertaining game, though, Gene. You know, if I have a regret, it's that we're not going to be there for week 6 when these two play each other again.
At RH.
In RH, yeah.
Well, our player of the game, no doubt, it has to be Evan Brock. Evan Brock, 3 touchdowns on the night. And stepping up, too. Remember, Jaden Scott was dinged up at the end of the first half. Evan Brock setting the tone. There was one play early on.
Yeah, bright future for Evan Brock with his RH program as a junior quarterback with a lot of size, a lot of power.
Stay tuned. We'll send it downstairs to Kevin Roche immediately following this game. Now it's going to be up to Brock. Just, you don't need to gain much. Just don't get stripped.
Protect the football. Kill the clock.
GG on the night is going to finish 16 carries, a $173. All right, you're going to take every second. Now, there isn't a play clock here. They're looking at the back judge who puts his hand in the air. That means that 10 seconds. Now he's going to count it down. 7, 6, 5. There's the snap. The handoff on the end around. Going at Singletary. Singletary! Can he add the icing on the cake? Oh, you betcha! Makes a man miss. Touchdown! Into the end zone.
Singletary, the ball carrier, 75-yard run.
75 yards. That's another American Custom Exteriors touchdown, the home improvement company that cares. That's the way to end the game.
Yeah, do you think Singletary heard that we named Evan Brock the player of the game and said, hey, what about me? Don't forget about me. I had a 49 touchdown earlier, and now let's cap off this win for Rush-Henrietta with 79 yards. Boy, a couple of juniors to really be excited about here with the Royal Comets in Brock and in Singletary.
Singletary crossing up. That's really tough for Arena when he's in the open field like that, not knowing where he's going to go. 2-point conversion attempt. As the handoff going inside and Fairport holding him up. Yeah, and people will log on and they'll say, oh, wow, 32-14. That game wasn't close.
The score is Rush-Henrietta 32.
I mean, you tell me, Gene, but the 99-yard drive in the first half was pretty telling of what this RH offense can do. Long, sustained drives, eating a lot of clock. And I think Jason Collins, head coach of the Royal Comets, you know, in talking to us earlier this week, he said, you know, this team is well coached. They're very coachable, disciplined, focused, hardworking. And if they can focus on the fundamentals, the blocking and the tackling, as they say, who knows? Who knows how far this team can go?
Well, for Brock, I think he set the tone by lowering his shoulder, and it was Bobby Cameron who came up to try to make the attack. Cameron lost his helmet. That's how hard that hit was, and that was delivered by the ball carrier, the quarterback. That should get everybody fired up if the quarterback. And there he is going out. And yeah, why not take a picture with some of the fans there? We didn't get this last year.
No, it feels great to be back underneath the lights on a Friday night. And these fans are loving it. These players are loving it. These coaches are loving it for Rush-Henrietta. And nothing to hang their heads about at Fairport as well. A real gutty performance tonight. And we know that Joe Gigi is playing that second half at less than 100% after injuring his foot late in the first half.
Gigi just, yeah,
Jones to kick off.
pretty much the entire offense tonight. 16 carries, a buck 73. Corey Jones, again, the end over end kick. Nobes to take it. And Nobes will be belted up at the 35.
No,
22
yards
remaining.
On the return. Red Raider football.
And while we have a second, we want to just mention our tonight's fantastic camera work. The eye in the sky, the lift coverage provided by the Duke Company. Equipment rental solutions for any size job.
So next week, Victor, huh? Victor and Hilton. The rematch of Spring's Section 5 semifinal.
I have a feeling that Rich Lapani will want to establish the run in that game. What do you think? Maybe.
Sounds about right.
Maybe. But Victor's certainly talented. We'll be with you every Friday night, all 8 regular season games. Yes, 8, remember. New York State giving the go-ahead to add to that extra week, which is just fantastic. Why not? Give the kids another week here.
Rush-Henrietta has taken a timeout.
So RH calling a timeout. Not sure why, but student section for RH, most of them dressed in white. They are they're making their presence felt on the far sideline.
Oh, that's what they're playing for tonight, Gene. There it is.
Yes.
The Friday Night Rivals Section 5 Game Winner Trophy. Look at that beauty.
There it is.
Go ahead, boys. Take a lap. Take a lap with that one.
You know, it's Kevin Roche told us the story in the pregame. Jason Collins driving over. The head coach has butterflies.
Yes.
That doesn't tell you everything you need to know.
Week 1.
Yeah.
After everything that we've been through, how can you not be excited about tonight?
Last night, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you want to get out here. Illingworth throws, and that's going to be caught. Nice full extension by Thompson, the tight end. He gets his first catch, his first target tonight, up to the 39.
Gain of 4 on the play.
For the gain of 4. And some good practice here for Fairport with the decision in hand. See if they can get a good rep in here as we're under a minute to go here. Illingworth fires. He's going to loft it deep downfield, and the intended receiver was Cameron Loft, getting twisted around.
Intended for Cameron Loft. 3rd down.
Well, you're right. I mean, this is going to be a great experience for Illingworth, the sophomore, looking to gain confidence through the course of the season. And you saw him gain confidence just through the course of this game. Bright future for the young sophomore quarterback for the Red Raiders.
3rd down at 6. Looking left and checking down and getting it to Gigi. And Gigi will have the first down as he gets it across the 45 and up to the 48.
Nice touch on that pass from Illingworth, leading Gigi perfectly for the first down.
First down. Presented by Tracy Door Company. Get a Tracy Door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
As you see the touch leading Gigi. Missed tackles. First down, Red Raiders.
Illingworth putting some air under that, but a little too far as trying to make the adjustment was Bobby Cameron. But running out of room.
2nd down.
4 wide receivers. 2nd down and 10. Rolling to his right. And the check down, and that'll be number 3, Patrick Nobes with the catch.
Number 3, Pat Nobes.
And that might be the last play as we're under 10 seconds remaining.
3rd down.
Illingworth looking back at the sideline, and that's going to do it. RH taking week 1 here on Friday Night Rivals. Your final score, 32-14.
Rush-Henrietta 32, Fairport 14.
Kevin Roche in the post-game show will be coming your way next. William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Matthews Automotive. Post-game show next year on CW Rochester. Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals as we go downstairs. Kevin Roche for the trophy presentation.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Here with the victors of Week 1, Friday Night Rivals from Rush-Henrietta. They win here tonight. Here's the coach. Here's the trophy.
Wow, look at this. These plays. All of us would like to take a moment to thank our wonderful sponsor partners, William Mattar Law, Matthews Auto, MVP Healthcare, and Empire Tractor, along with everyone tonight helping to make our 2021 Friday Night Rivals telecast. Thank you for watching. For Kevin Roche and Mike Danger, my name is Gene Battaglia. This has been a production here of CW Rochester.